What's up, average dad fans? Welcome back to another video. Now, the foldable phone market has never been better. Competition from the East is eliminating some of the stranglehold that the global variants have. So OnePlus, Google, Samsung better put up a strong defense because 2024 is going to be epic. Let's go. Now, you don't have to be an absolute fold fanatic to realise that foldable phones are not only here to stay, they're potentially here to take over. From the OnePlus Open last year, the Google Pixel Fold, and all of the other Chinese variants, including the Honor Magic V2 that came global, foldable phones have started to eat away at the phone market, particularly here in the UK and Europe. It's already been massive over in the Asian market. So I wanted to make this video to talk about the top 3 global releases of last year when it pertains to foldable phones, and talk about what those 3 phones, the OnePlus Open, the Google Pixel Fold, and the Samsung Galaxy Z Fold series should do this year. Now, first up, I want to discuss the things that all 3 manufacturers need to do to stay competitive. Number 1, make them all thinner. Yes, all of these devices are 12mm plus in thickness. This year, that figure has to come down by at least a millimetre. We will accept 11mm, but if there's a 12 anywhere in your dimensions, take a hike. Another thing that all 3 global manufacturers absolutely must do is increase the battery capacity. 4,000 milliamp hours, 4,500 milliamp hours, it just isn't enough. When you have flagship candy bar phones with only one display getting now 5,000, 5,400, 6,000 milliamp hours, it's about time, because the technology is there, that foldable phones started to get to that 6,000 milliamp hour capacity. Because again, there's 2 screens to power. Another thing that all 3 manufacturers should do is figure out how to include the Stylus pen in all of their devices. Not separate, not in a case that you have to buy extra. The pen, like the S24 Ultra or the S Ultra series, the pen has to be integrated into the device. That for me is becoming a deal breaker. And I actually don't use a stylus, but many of you do. And if there's any phone type out there that deserves a stylus built in, it's a large format foldable for productivity. That large 8-inch canvas on the inside. We need stylus support integrated, and that doesn't sacrifice the battery. As I say, the S24 Ultra's got a 5,000 milliamp hour battery and an S Pen built in. So don't come at me with excuses. So that's a few of the key things that all 3 manufacturers need to do. I want to take the next few minutes talking about each individual device. First up, the Z Fold 6. The Samsung Z Fold 6 has an opportunity to catapult itself back to the top. Yes, believe it or not, in my opinion, the Samsung Z Fold original and Z Fold 2 were innovative. They were groundbreaking. They were the best foldable on the planet. But then Huawei and others came on and absolutely pissed all over their parade. It's now time for Samsung to take back the crown. And all they need to do, in my opinion, on top of the 3 things I mentioned for all manufacturers, increase the outer screen size. 6.3 inch to 6.5 inch diagonal on the outer display, so it feels more like a candy bar device, will go a long way for all of us fans to appreciate a Z Fold device again. Another thing they need to do, without question, upgrade every single one of your cameras. Now, I'm not saying that the photos in a Samsung are bad, but all of that is due to their processing rather than the lens's capability. They are some of the smallest, if not the smallest lenses on every single camera lens across the board. The Z Fold 5 has the poorest hardware when it pertains to cameras across all of the flagship foldables last year. And the ultimate contradiction is that arguably the Ultra series in Samsung has some of the best and produces the best photos. So what they need to do is increase their main, ultra-wide and telephoto lens size, aperture, do whatever they can to also make the telephoto 5 times. Yes, I am of the belief that going forward, as a minimum, we should have 5x periscope zoom lens on a foldable device, because make no mistake about it, these are going to be close to £2,000 this year, all three of these devices. Now, as far as the Google Pixel Fold, this is a difficult one. I loved the original Pixel Fold, but the rumours are the Pixel Fold 2 is going for a more OnePlus Open Honor Magic V2 form factor, eliminating what I liked about the Google Pixel Fold, that it was like a landscape device. It was a proper passport. When you opened it, yes, there were thick bars and we'll come to them, but I loved the form factor. So for me, the Pixel Fold 2 really only had to thin out the bezels, update the software that was more compatible with apps that are in vertical scrolling like Twitter and Instagram, and add stylus support. Genuinely, I mean, that would, obviously, we've talked about the battery life and stuff as well, but the cameras on Google were fine. Again, the lenses could always do with an upgrade. They did have a 5 times periscope zoom lens that will come over to the Pixel Fold 2. But now that they're changing the form factor, I don't know. I think it's going to lose some of the appeal that the Pixel Fold had, because it is going to be right in line with every other foldable on this list. And then the final one, the best foldable of last year on my point scoring system and just as public opinion, is the OnePlus Open. And for me, the OnePlus Open is as close to perfect as a foldable can be at this stage in time. Yes, the chipset is going to get faster. Yes, it could always do with a slightly bigger battery. But the cameras, 6 times lossless periscope zoom lens, the near creaseless display, the perfect form factor. The OnePlus Open's got very little, in my opinion, that it needs to improve on, other than getting thinner, a bigger battery, and maybe an upgrade in the camera department. I see the OnePlus Open 2 just being a phenomenal device this year. So if all three of these global manufacturers can add what I'm asking for and what I believe you would like to see, I think they will do a very good job at fending off most of the competition. But if Xiaomi follow through with the global release of the Mix Fold 4, I can't see any of these manufacturers beating the specs, hardware, and to some degrees software that the Xiaomi Mix Fold 4 will have, and certainly the price. So we'll have to wait and see, but rest assured, 2024 is going to be the biggest and best year for foldable devices, and I will have every single one at all times. Yes, there'll be comparisons on the regular, there'll be camera tests, there'll be versus, reviews, all the stuff you want to see on all of these devices. One thing I will not be doing this year is selling or getting rid of foldable devices to make way for others. What I'm trying to do is budget enough so that I can have all of the top 5 foldables at the same time for a sustained period of time. So if you're interested in seeing that, please make sure you've hit the subscribe button and support this small tech channel, one of the only ones that promotes Chinese foldable devices, while still giving some love to global when they deserve it. And please, let me know in the comments what device you are excited for. But please keep in mind, they are all good. Even the Z Fold. For what we are getting technology-wise, we've got a foldable screen, folks. You know? So for what we're getting technology-wise, just calm down slightly in the comments about how passionate you are about some devices. It's okay for other people to have different opinions. Believe it or not. If you've enjoyed this video, you know what to do. And I'll be back super soon with hopefully the Vivo X Fold 3 and the Vivo X Fold 3 Pro. Until then,